Hey everyone, this is Nito King bringing you the last part of Space Quest 2. Now if you remember last time we were poking around in Vohaul's asteroid, managed to pick up a bunch of crazy random stuff from janitor's closets, which I claimed was going to get us past all the death traps. So let's go see how that works. Another thing that you might have noticed, once we got to the asteroid, and in fact once we got to the shuttle, everything that had happened before stopped mattering. We don't actually need any of the inventory items from before the asteroid to get through here. So one last trek along these really narrow pathways. Still not too hard as long as you're using the numeric keypad and you've got diagonal controls. And we're pretty familiar with this part. Trap wall, trap wall, trap floor. So now all we gotta do is give ourselves something to hold on to when there's no floor. It seems so easy if you think about it. Of course, never let it be said that I've thought about anything. So yeah, it went a little quickly there, but we can't hold on to a plunger forever, so what you need to do is wait, not necessarily until the last minute, but at least until there's not much time left. And as long as you waited long enough, the trap instantly springs, and you can either wait until he releases his grip or just let go. So, we can finally explore this lower hallway. Let's go ahead and do that. That looks kind of intimidating. Wonder what he'll do to me if he catches me. Looks like I'm going to take a powder. Alright, so we definitely don't want to mess with that robot. Let's go the other way. And here he comes again. And the key here is to notice those little metal things on the ceiling, which, as the text box here says, looks like sprinklers. So perhaps water is what we need. And the obvious solution is to put our toilet paper in the basket and set it on fire. Unfortunately, I get caught long before the fire has a chance to catch. And there go the sprinklers. So I think the key there is to be faster. Now, of course, we don't have to wait until the robot starts chasing us to put the paper in the basket. And I just pre-type drop basket, so that the only thing I really have to do is very quickly type light paper. And there we go. Aha! It worked! It's a little known effect that actually took me a lot of tries to get right. The trick is, you don't actually have to attract the robot's attention before shorting them out. And that's it. The basket is useless to me now, so let's just move on and see what's beyond the robots. Alright, the description's exactly the same. I was kind of hoping it would say something about them being shorted out, but... oh well, can't have everything. Yeah, somehow I don't think I'm gonna do that. Okay, it wants me to actually go up and get close to him. I'm gonna save that for later. They kind of look like Sonny Bonds. Anyway, there's one thing I've got to try in this room. Oh. And when it says the first chapter, I think that's referring to not wearing the spacesuit when you go into the pod bay and exploding. What do you mean I don't have access? The capsule's right there. But anyway, I guess it's time for our face-to-face confrontation with Vohaul. I don't really know why I thought that would do anything. And I get zapped. And then the tiny pieces fly through the air above our heads and get reassembled at this television at the far end of the room. Now, why he didn't just build a death ray, I have no idea. Now, I waited here for a bit trying to see if he would actually suffocate because there's no air holes in the jar. I think that only happens if you don't have the glass cutter. So I'll give that a try for the bonus video. Otherwise, I guess it's time to hop off this stupid counter and take out Vohaul one-on-one. Alright, so falling off the counter, not a good idea. But there's the keyboard. Maybe... So I can't even get to the keyboard. Of course, maybe if I don't attract his attention, I might be able to do something. I have these big hoses in the front of the computer. Oh, right. The very first video, he pointed out that he's on life support now. Those hoses must be the life support. But how to cut it off? Alright, in other words, there's nothing I can do to the hoses from out here. I'll have to get inside the computer. Unfortunately, he shrank me right next to an air vent. Like I said, death ray, not shrink ray. Different from the sign that says caution. And here's another thing. He can't build a death ray, but he sticks an emergency shutoff button in his life support system. Why would you ever need to shut down your life support? I don't know, villains these days. At least we'll never have to deal with him again. Switch on the far end of the console. Well, I should be able to get to the far end of the console now. So let's just go ahead and pull that switch. Although, looks like the switch is off. So obviously you didn't turn something on. Oh, this is the shrink ray program. So let's reduce something. Okay, sequence has begun. Whatever that means. Oh, okay, there's the beam. Oh, no, come on. There's still gotta be atom left or something. Yep. Another one of those deaths you're only going to encounter if you purposefully do it. As long as you can spell enlarge, you're perfectly good. And of course, the switch that he pushed was the clone launch switch. So it looks like we're a bit late, but we can still search him. The bigger the bad guy, the more valuable loot they usually have. Except in this case, it's just some kind of combination. SHSR. Alright, take a look at this flashing monitor. Alright, things look pretty good. Orbit decaying, that's not good. Terminal. Clone launch is go. Well, let's just jump ahead here as I try typing in some random stuff while I wait for the countdown to expire. There's a bunch of other stuff, but, with all the people complaining about dead air, I didn't want to sit here for 5 minutes typing in lines from war games or something. How about a nice game of chess? Alright, enough of that. We know what the combination is because I looked at Vohaul's hand first. But instead of actually typing the password, I'm going to add one letter to each letter of it. Kind of like HAL to IBM, so SHSR. And there we go. Of course, typing in SHSR will also work. That's just an Easter egg they put in case anybody figured out where the combination came from. So I have now saved my planet from those evil insurance salesmen. Well, this looks like an interesting and slightly familiar landscape. Is this Earthworm Jim? Captain Comic? And of course, we know better than to screw around with mysterious boxes. Uh-oh. Perhaps I should mess around with this mysterious box. Obviously, I'm going to need to wear an oxygen mask in this tube. I mean, on the one hand, you're not going to see it coming, but on the other hand, they do just pretty much hand you the mask right here. Yeah, I mean, the puzzles are hardly engaging, but then I'm only 20 points from victory anyway. And here I am in the hallway with the flashing alarm lights. Just gotta find my way out. Hopefully you don't find this sound at all annoying. Oh god, there's a robot chasing me. I think maybe this one is the RoboCop parody. Could also be one of the ones that was featured in one of the versions of the first game, but this hallway loops around, so if I just keep running, I should be able to get away from it. And the camera's back. So yeah, that's the payoff for getting kissed by the alien up on the 5th floor. So let's jump to an alternate universe where that didn't happen. Where I either didn't walk all the way across the 5th floor or got back to the elevator and pushed the button early enough. And see what happens if we actually get past this robot. Now, the trick is there's those buttons on the wall which activate the escape pods. Of course, if I could tight push, I still wouldn't have enough time. I think in Space Quest 4 that would become a Ben Gay joke. Looks like I'm going to take a powder. Alright, so we clearly don't have enough time to type push button while I'm in the screen there, so I just need to type it in advance. Again, this is the last time I think we're ever going to have to deal with the AGI interface. Starting in Space Quest 3, the game will actually pause while we're typing stuff, so you don't have to plan your moves that far in advance. Now, the problem is, even if you set the game to slow speed, you don't have enough time to get into the escape pod before the robot catches you. So you gotta push the button and run. And as far as I know, yes, this is the approved solution to solving this puzzle. There's not some interesting thing that I need to do or item that I missed which would have gotten me past the robot. You just run away. And here we can see this is the overlook from the shuttle bay before. You might have noticed this foreground path, and that's how you get to it. But there's no point to doing so, because now that the robot has gone back to his post, I just need to go back and quickly enter the pod, which means, again, typing the words before I get to the screen. I don't know why the alarm isn't playing in this screen, but that's our escape, successfully. It doesn't make any grammatical sense. But who cares? I'm in the escape pod. I am escaping! Alright, time to look at the control panel one last time to figure out what kind of controls I've got. And in the escape pod tradition, they've just got a launch button. Hooray! We did it! Yeah, kind of a bummer about those missing 10 points, but what you gonna do? Well, suffocate, I suppose. Alright, well, fortunately I've got a device that'll provide me with more oxygen. Err. Plot conveniences. Well, let's see. There's one other thing I can think of, a similar puzzle encountered earlier in the game, and the solution to that one might just be crazy enough to work. Well, that's it. I'm out of ideas. Guess I'm just gonna have to see what happens. And yeah, it is 3 actual minutes. I think it's probably 5 if I'm running at normal speed, but since I've got it to fast, it fast counts a little bit. Well, technically speaking, it's not that bad an ending, but it doesn't offer a lot of sequel potential, so let's see if we can find a way to survive. Ah, cleverly disguised sleep chamber. They made it up to look like a sleep chamber. Wait, I am? I thought I was sitting in the seat. I'm actually floating through space standing up. That's stupid. Yeah, well. This should keep us alive. We'll see what the game's going to throw at us next. Wait, so long? It's all the points! And yeah, the only true cliffhanger, I think, in the entire Space Quest series. And now it's just a matter of the ending theme. I don't think they've even actually got any credits playing over this, so just enjoy a little bit of music. See you guys next time for Space Quest 3.